Happy Tuesday. It's Rockstar Rally Night. In case you didn't know, we launched a brand new catalog a few days ago. And if you didn't know, you should leave. No, I'm kidding. I'm glad you're here. If you did not know that we just launched a brand new catalog, it's okay. You're going to be fine. But let's be a good consultant. We're in spring and summer now, so we have a whole new lineup of products. We have our new flickering candle warmer out, which is really, really cool. Also, in case you didn't see, on the 10th, we are launching Cheshire Cat and the We're All Mad Here scent. So all Alice in Wonderland fans are going to be really happy with that. Actually, I'm not going to lie. I'm actually surprised. I've had the biggest response on social media from this LTO than I have had in a long time. So I think I underestimated people's love for Alice in Wonderland, but they're loving it. They're crazy. They're like, I have to have it. I don't even care how much it costs. And I think it's actually a really good price. It's $35. So when some of our other licensed buddies have been like 40 and 45. So I think it's a really good price. Yeah. So I definitely because I'm like, I don't even know if I've seen Alice in Wonderland. Don't hate me. I don't even know. I might have but so that's why I was like, I don't even know who Cheshire Cat is. I'm like whispering like it's a problem, like it's a secret. Anyway, I completely underestimated it. I'm like a Disney princess girl. I know like Belle and Ariel, like all the old ones, and I guess maybe, is Alice a princess? I don't think so, right? She's like a kid. I don't know. Anywho, I underestimated it. So don't underestimate your customers. Don't underestimate their love for Alice in Wonderland. And just remember, even if you don't know about it or it's not your favorite, it doesn't have to be. So that was kind of a shock to me today. But that launches on February 10th. I'm betting it won't last long, just like most LTOs. So just be aware of that. Okay, well, I'm glad someone else hasn't maybe watched it. They weren't sure. So tonight I want to dive into recruiting part 3. Trois. Is that how you say it? French? Trois? I'm like jute. I know jute is 2, so let's call it trois. Recruiting part 3. Okay, good. I'm like, I feel like Ryan should know that, and he does. Okay. I'm like, I feel like that's an acrobat thing. Maybe you would know. Okay, good. Excellent. So recruiting part 3. So in the past couple of weeks, we have talked about recruiting part 1. We talked about laying foundation. We talked about high PRV and how important it is to have high PRV because you're growing your customer base, meeting new people, having lots of conversations, and that's really the foundation for recruiting, right? You cannot be a good recruiter if you don't have high PRV because you don't have enough people to talk to. Baseline is you can only ask the same people so many times, okay? It's that simple. So you can only ask the same people so many times, and if you keep asking and asking and asking and they're saying no, then that just means it's not for them right now. You can come back to it later, but you have to go meet new people. The way you meet new people is by parties and events, asking for referrals, growing your customer base. That is the foundation for recruiting. If you're not doing that and you feel like you have a problem with recruiting, you actually have a problem with growing your customer base, okay? And that's where you have to start. So growing your customer base, meeting new people, constantly expanding your network. That's the foundation of it all. The second thing we talked about was dream team list, okay? I gave you guys that handy dandy spreadsheet where you could put 5 dream team members on. I challenge you to have a list of 25 dream team members. So hopefully you guys are well engaged in that. That has a social media plan of connecting with those people, starting to plant the seeds and talk to them about joining Scentsy. I'm just gonna tell you very honestly, if you watched that video or you were on if you were on Rockstar Rally and you watched the Dream Team video, which is recruiting week 2, and you haven't done that, I can't help you. Okay? You have to put in the work. All right. And I'm not saying that to be a jerk. I'm not saying that to be anything other than I love you and I want the best for you. And if you want to build a team and you want to recruit and you want to grow your business, you have to put in the work. Okay. So trust me when when I tell you that if I ask you to do something, I'm not asking you to do it for shits and giggles. I'm not. I will never ask you to do something that doesn't grow your business. Never. I will never ask you to do something that's not income producing or good for you, or is going to grow you personally, right? Or is going to help you grow in one of the areas of your business. I will never do that. So if I ever ask you to do something, know that I've either already done it or I'm doing it with you. God's honest truth, okay? And secondly, that it's going to help you build your business. And you might think there's no way, this is crazy, this is too much. I promise you, I've been in Scentsy almost 10 years now, okay? I know what I'm doing. I've recruited over 250 people personally in 10 years, okay? That's a lot. We have a huge team. We have directors and like, I know what I'm doing. So please trust me. I'm not just trying to be a butthole or a jerk or like, do this. I'm not. And I'm also not telling you what to do because I can't tell you what to do and I'm not your boss. But I promise you, if I'm asking you to do something, it's going to be good for your business. Okay. So take the dive, do the action, make a dream team list, use the handy dandy paper that I gave you a couple weeks ago and get to work. Okay. You want to be a good recruiter? You got to get to work. Plain and simple. So, yes, absolutely. Akila said, and trust your directors. They didn't get there by accident. Yep. So it's not just me, anyone, like all the directors for sure. Okay. I promise you, I love you and I want the best for you. And like recruiting, let me tell you about recruiting for a second. So many people approach recruiting in their business and they think like, they have this like big hang up or fear over recruiting. Okay. Or I have coaching calls with people and they want to talk about recruiting. And then the next time I have a coaching call, they want to talk about recruiting. And then the next time I have a coaching call, they want to talk about recruiting. Or I ask in Radiant Rockstars and I say, what do you need help on? What kind of training would you like to see? And the number one thing is recruiting. Okay. I'm going to tell you a secret. I'm never going to tell you something that you haven't already heard. There's nothing I could say to you that doesn't already exist in the world. Okay. There's nothing I could say to you that you haven't already heard, that you can't read in a book, that you can't find on a YouTube channel, right? Maybe I have a different perspective. Maybe I'm coming from a different place. Maybe I say it in a way that connects with you now that didn't before, or vice versa. But I promise you, your hangups with recruiting, like you just got to table those. You got to table them. They are not serving you in your business. Your own hangups are not serving you in your business. They're not helping you grow. They're not getting you further towards your goals. Okay. So if you have a hangup with recruiting, you need to just decide right now, I'm tabling that sucker. I'm tabling that hangup and I'm moving on. I'm done. I'm going to take action. I'm going to put in the work. I'm going to become a student. I'm going to learn and I'm going to grow. Okay. And just like we talked about in week 1, you're going to suck at first. It's okay to suck at things in the beginning. It's okay for things not to go right. It's okay for things to be difficult. But the only way to get better is by practicing and practicing and practicing and practicing. Okay. We talked about playing a musical instrument, playing sports, right? If you've done any of those things, you know, in the beginning, you're not like naturally a piano player when you're born. You're not like naturally headed to the NBA when you're born. Okay. It takes practice and dedication and trying and falling and doing it and showing up when it's hard and showing up when other people want to sleep, right? That's what it takes to get better at this craft. Same thing with recruiting. You might feel like a conversation didn't go great. You might feel like you blew it. Do you know how many times I've blown it? Lots and lots and lots and lots. Okay. The only way to get better is by practicing and practicing and practicing and trying and failing and learning from your mistakes and asking for help and seeking out knowledge and then trying it again. Please do not wait for it to be perfect. Please do not wait for you to have the right spiel, the right words to say. Don't wait for the perfect person to talk to, because odds are you're going to have to talk to 25 people before one person's going to say yes when you're first starting to recruit. Okay. That's literally what it takes. So just know that in your head. Okay. So tonight, what I want to talk about with recruiting is after you've laid the foundation, you're having high PRV, you're meeting new people, you're having lots of conversations. After you've made your dream team list and you start to connect with them, what do you say? Right? Anyone have a hang up there with like, okay, well, what do I say? Like, how do I transition this conversation into recruiting? Like, how do I make it sound enticing or exciting without being like salesy or weird or like that direct sales lady, because nobody likes them, right? So I'm going to tell you that the best way for you to recruit is always going to be in relationship with people. Always. Okay. I'm going to talk about like on the spot recruiting in a minute, but I'm going to tell you that because they both serve purposes in your business. There's a place for both on the spot recruiting and relationship recruiting. And what I mean by on the spot recruiting is like someone that you don't have a relationship with that you talk to about joining Scentsy. Okay. So I'm going to talk about that in a second, but the best way for you to recruit is going to be through relationship. If relationships are the best way to recruit, where are you going to find your recruits? In your customer base. Okay, so that's why we have the natural progression of buy, host, join. I want you to think about this. Someone buys Scentsy, they love it, obviously. I literally don't have anyone who's bought Scentsy and been like, I don't like this. Never has that happened. Okay, so they buy Scentsy, they love it. Well, you're like, then they want something else. So they host. It's a natural progression. Then they start to host because they can get stuff for free. Once they're hosting and they see how easy and fun it is, then they want to join. Okay. It's a very natural progression for that to happen. Sometimes we skip the hosting thing. Sometimes we skip the buying, but it's a very natural progression for your customers to become recruits. How many of you were first a customer of Scentsy before you joined? Meaning you had ever purchased one item. Okay, most of you, right? I actually had not purchased one thing from Scentsy when I joined. I won a basket at a charity auction, but I had experienced the product, okay, and loved the idea. Actually hated the warmer and hated the scent. The warmer was super ugly and the scent was like so not for me, but I loved the idea, okay? So I wasn't a customer. I'm like a freak accident. Most people join Scentsy because they love the products. So I want you to think about this. If you need to write this down, write this down. People join Scentsy because they love the products. So what does that mean? Who are you looking for to join your team? People who love the products. Okay? When you start to put on recruiting glasses, I call them recruiting glasses, recruiting filter, whatever you want to call it, people that are going to join your team are going to be people who love the products. So what you need to start doing is looking for in your customer base who loves your products, who are your best customers, who shop with you the most, who spend the most money, who send their friends to you the most. If people are sending friends to you, that person needs to be a consultant, like instantly, like right now. Like after this call, you're going to hang up the phone, you're going to go call them and be like, yo, listen, stop sending your peeps to me. Let's you join and you be making the money on this. Okay. So I want you to put your recruiting goggles on. Your customer base is going to be where you're going to start looking for people to join. Now, what do you say? What do you say to them? So it's a process, right? So we're gonna talk about relationship recruiting. It's a process of building a relationship. It starts with planting a seed and watering it over time. Planting a seed in someone's mind can literally be something as simple as, girl, why aren't you making money on this? Okay, literally that one phrase, that can be planting a seed. And if, let's say you bought Scentsy from me, I dressed up the bag, I delivered it all cute, and I came, dropped it off to you, handed it to you, and you were like, oh my God, thank you so much. This is the 6th time you've bought from me. And I just said, girl, why aren't you making money on this? Would you be like, oh my God, she's a loser. I don't want anything to do with her. I'm never going to talk to her again. Ew, she's that direct sales lady. But no, that's like totally not offensive. It's not pushy. It's not scary. You're never going to turn someone away. Because here's why. Number one, you painted it in their best interest, right? It had nothing to do with me, wasn't about helping me, wasn't about me getting a promotion, me earning a trip, whatever. It was about their best interest. Their best interest is they're spending money on Scentsy. Their best interest would be to get Scentsy at a discount, right? We know it's commission, discount, it's 6 of one, half dozen the other, same thing. Their best interest would be to get Scentsy at a discount. When you are recruiting, you want to find how this business is in their best interest, and then plant that seed and then water it consistently over time, over time, over time, over time. Their best interest might be, girl, I know you stay at home and see little people all day and you need to talk to grown-ups once in a while. Why don't you do this with us? Okay, that's in someone's best interest. Who's that for? The stay-at-home mom, the work-at-home mom, someone who runs a daycare, right? It could be, girl, I know you're trying to save for college. I know you're trying to save for a trip. I know you're trying to whatever, right? That would be in someone's best interest. There are reasons people join. Financial reasons, okay? Think about that. Reasons people join, like socially, like we talked about. Discounts. Camaraderie and community. People join for that reason. These are all different reasons that people join Scentsy. So what you need to start doing is looking at everyone on your dream team list, every customer that you have, and say, why would they want to join Scentsy? What's in it for them? What is in their best interest? And then when you talk to them about recruiting, it's not just like, hey, do you want to join my team for $99? Because that's not compelling. It's not personalized to them. It's not interesting. It's about you, right? It's instead, if you say, why aren't you getting this at a discount? Let me help you save for college. Let me help you quit that second job. Let me help you pay off some debt. You hate your job? Come on, come with me. Let me show you. Okay? All of these things. What's in it for them? So with every single person, I'm never, ever going to give you a speech. I'm never going to give you a spiel. I'm never going to give you a script on how you recruit, because with every single person, it's different. You have to tailor your pitch to that person and their needs every time. Okay? So it's very, very different. So planting a seed can be something like this. These flyers that I posted in Radiant Rockstars, okay, these little Join the Journey flyers, they are in an album in Radiant Rockstars. It's called Printouts for Your Business. They're in an album there. They don't have my pictures on them. They're blanks. You can put your own pictures. This is a little flyer that I printed, I think 4 to a page. I cut them in 4s, and you know what they go in? They go in my Scent of the Month mailouts. They go in my customer order bags. They go in thank you cards to my PWS orders. This can be planting a seed. Join the journey, change your life. Here's 10 reasons why you should join Scentsy. And this is totally, it's not offensive. It's not scary. It's not like anything. What this does is this just starts some wheels turning in people's heads sometimes. Okay? This can be planting a seed. In every single bag you ever deliver, every single one, there should be something about joining. Whether it's this or whether it's the join flyer that you buy from Scentsy Success, $3 for 25, stick your label on it, put it in a bag, because you never know. You never know. Listen, here's what I want you to hear. Orville said this, and it's like mind-blowing, but so true. You are one person away from a completely different life. One. You could recruit one person who changes the course of your business forever. You could recruit one person who promotes to superstar director underneath you and changes your future forever. So what if you recruited a bunch of those ones? What if you recruited a bunch of those ones that changed your business forever? You never know. Here's the other thing. You might recruit someone, or you might sign someone up into the business that you think like, oh, I don't know if they're going to do anything. I don't know if this is for them. I don't know if this is whatever. First of all, I'm just going to say that's not fair to them for you to do that. Okay. But I get it if you're doing it. You might bring someone into the business that you're not sure of, but here's what you don't know. You don't know who they could recruit that could change your business forever. Do you know in Radiant Rockstars organization, most of the directors driving my business are not my personal recruits. They are recruits of someone I recruited. I recruited someone who recruited them, and they're the ones driving my paycheck and my business. They're the ones who have exploding teams. You never, ever, ever know who someone that you recruit could recruit. You never know. You never know. So recruit, they always say recruit the many to find the few. Okay? Recruit the many to find the few. I'm all about quality recruits, absolutely, but there's something to be said about quantity. Okay, and there is sort of like a numbers game. You recruit big, and then you mentor and coach, and you find the people who want to work. You're going to have people who just want to be active. You're going to have people who just want to barely get by. You just want to get a discount and just want to buy the laundry. That's perfectly fine and beautiful and wonderful, and we celebrate them. And Scentsy is for them, right? Scentsy is for everyone, but you recruit the many to find the few. So you recruit 10, 50, 100 to find a couple of incredible rock stars who change your life and your business forever. Okay? So plant the seed. And when you plant a seed, you tailor your pitch to that person. Okay? And the only way that you can do that is if you're in relationship with them. The only way you can do that is if you know them and you know their needs and you know their business and you know what's going on in their life and you know. So this is what I always say. I say everyone has a problem and Scentsy is their solution. Everyone has a problem and Scentsy is their solution. Now, Scentsy is their solution might look different than Scentsy is this person's solution. And then Scentsy is this person's solution. But everyone has a problem and Scentsy is their solution. Your job as a recruiter, okay, is to find out what the problem is and show them how Scentsy can be their solution. That's your job as a recruiter. Find out what the problem is, show them how Scentsy can be their solution, and then you are like the coffee waitress, like we talked about a couple of weeks ago. You go and you offer. You offer, do you want coffee? Do you want Scentsy? Do you want this solution to your problem? They say yes, perfect. They join your team. They say no, okay. You move on to the next person, you find their problem. Do you want this Scentsy solution? Do you want this Scentsy solution? Your job is to offer. That's how you become a great recruiter. You offer and offer and offer and offer and offer over and over and over and over again. You want to know how these people are recruiting 2, 5, 7 people a month? They're offering and offering and offering and being told no, 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 yes, no, 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 yes. Literally, that's what's happening. They're having more conversations than you. So if you're like, how is so-and-so getting 5 recruits a month? They're having way more conversations than you, I promise. They're not having 5 conversations and 5 people said yes. So if you're having 5 conversations and expecting to get a recruit from it, it's just not enough, okay? You have to have enough conversations. And that goes back to week 1, which is expanding your network and having high PRV. So you plant a seed, okay? You're gonna plant a seed with this customer that you're in relationship with. Every single time you connect with that customer, every single time, you just water that seed a little bit. Just water it, little sprinkle. Sometimes you're gonna sprinkle, sometimes you're gonna sprinkle, and sometimes you need like a big old thirsty sip, okay? Sometimes you need just a little sprinkle, and sometimes you need to like turn on the faucet. It's a little bit of both. So you're gonna sprinkle, you're gonna water, you're gonna water, you're gonna water. But when I say sprinkle, I mean you're gonna do it in a way that's not pushy. You're going to do it in a way that's not offensive, but you're just going to remind them gently and lovingly how Scentsy is their solution. Okay? I have a customer who's been with me, shopping with me for 7.5 years. I have asked her to join at least 25 times. I just want you to know this. This is real. At least 25 times. She's had parties for me. From her parties, I have recruited 4 of her friends. 4 of her friends. She still has not joined my team, and I still ask her to join my team because I've recruited all of her friends, and all of her friends could have been on her team. So every once in a while, I just gently remind her, like, girl, these people could have been on your team. You could be making money this whole time. Just gently, lovingly remind her. Do you think, has she stopped ordering from me? No, she just placed an order 2 days ago. She's not going to stop ordering from me. She's not going to turn around and think I'm crazy. She's not going to walk the other way. It's fine. No one's ever going to be like that offended because you ask them to join. So these reservations that you have about recruiting, table them. They're done. We're done with that. You're moving on. Table all those things that are holding you back. Like that stays here. You're going forward. Like Robin Benincasa says, winning is that way. Winning is that way. So all those things, you're leaving them back there and you're not looking back. You're not thinking about them. You're not being dragged back by them. You're not even tempted to glance over your shoulder because winning is that way. If you don't know who Robin Benincasa is, I highly recommend you look her up and read her book. She is phenomenal. So you're watering the seeds, you're planting the seeds. I promise you, now my customer and friend that I've asked 25 times to join, I'm going to keep asking her, and she's going to join my team someday. It could be in 15 years. I don't care. I'm going to keep asking her. But you know that I've had people that I've asked twice and they join, right? So you never know. Could this be a 2-person? Could this be a 25-person? Could this be a 7-person? You never know. So don't stop asking and don't give up on someone just because they told you no. Either put them in your back pocket and reapproach it when there's a join special, or just gently water it again. You don't have to be annoying. You don't have to be like pulling teeth or begging people to join your team. There's nothing worse than appearing desperate. Right? Nobody wants to join you if you appear desperate. You know when they want to join you? When you're powerful and successful, when you earn trips, when you're making money, when you're showing people how this Scentsy business has blessed your life, changed your life, enhances your life. Those are the people that people want to join. They don't want to join people who beg. They don't want to join people who are desperate. They don't want to join people who are like, oh, I really need to make my goal this month or else my account's going to cancel. They don't want to join those people. Okay? So change the game in your own business if you're having struggles there. So you plant a seed and then you water and you water and you water and you water. And at some point you're just going to say, are you ready to do this thing with me? Is that scary? Is that scary for you to say that? It's not. It's not hard at all. In fact, you're having conversation on Facebook Messenger and on the very last line you say, are you just ready to do this thing with me? Question mark, emoji, funny GIF, whatever. Like it's not scary. I promise you, that's as simple as it is. That's as simple as it is. When you overcomplicate it in your mind, that's when things get crazy. When you start to doubt yourself, when you start to say recruiting is hard for me, then yes, it is. Because what's one of my favorite quotes of all time? Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. This is where great recruiters are born, right here. Great recruiters are born right here. Okay, now, gosh, I was just going to say something and I forgot. It was so good too. Okay. All right. So who are we recruiting? Customers, hosts, people we're following up with. It's totally okay when you're following up with someone to be like, have you ever thought about doing what I do? That's a very easy line to plant a seed, okay? Write it down if you need to. You can use that line over and over again. Have you ever thought about doing what I do? That's pretty simple, not scary, not offensive. In fact, no, I'll save that for another time. So customers, hosts, follow-up, dream team members, these are people you're talking to. Here is one of the biggest things when you're worried about what to say. Here's one of the biggest things I need you to be aware of. Do not word vomit. It's the worst. If you don't know what word vomit is, it's when you're so excited about Scentsy and you freaking love this company so much and it's changed your life and you're so passionate and you want this person on your team so bad that you're like, oh, here's how much money you make and here's when we get paid and here's why and here's how much a discount is and here's when our new catalog comes out. We have 2 catalogs a year and you have to do 200 peer review once every 4 months. Like, do you know what PRV is? It's 1 for 1 unless it's like charitable cause and it's like $35 and it's like 30 PRV and then like you still get paid on that, but like, you know, it's crazy. And you just keep talking and talking. And you can earn trips, by the way, and you can like become a director and you can like change your life. You like quit your job. Like my superstar director, like she quit her job and like her husband, like he quit his job and then like that's word vomit. Okay. And that's like, whoa, Nelly, too much. I'm out. Peace. Okay. Don't do that. When you're recruiting, this is my biggest tip. Only answer their questions. That's it. Only answer their questions. If they ask you a question that says, okay, how much do I make? You're not going to go full compensation plan, essential to certified to lead to star to superstar to director to star director to superstar director. You're not going to do that, because odds are you probably don't even understand the compensation plan yourself to be able to do that. Okay. And if you don't, that's totally fine. And I'm happy to help you with that, because I understand it's numbers, and numbers are not everybody's thing. But if someone says, how much money do I make? This is what I say every time. When you start, you're in 20% commission. And as soon as you sell your first 1,000, you get bumped up to 25% forever. That's it. I just plain and simple answered their question. Now, could I go a step further and be like, and if you sell 2,000 PRV a month, you get 5% bonus and you make 30% commission for that month? Sure, I could, but that's too many numbers. And they didn't ask me about bonuses. They just asked me, how do I get paid? Right? How much do I make? So that's all I'm going to say. You get, sell your first $1,000, you get 25% from there on out forever. And if you want to make more, you can grow a team. You can leave it at that. You don't have to say you can make 2% or 9% or 7%. It's too many numbers. That's too much for people. It's crazy. If someone tells me, in fact, someone just messaged me today and said, I'm interested in, tell me about joining Sensi. I'm going to tell you exactly what I said to her. I'm just going to pull up this conversation so you know. Hey lady, I was wondering if you could tell me about selling Sensi. Actual conversation that happened today. I said, girl, yes, we would love to have you join us. It's the best thing I've ever done for myself, seriously. And now it's such a fun time to join since we just launched our spring and summer catalog 4 days ago. It's $99 to sign up, and you get a starter kit that has everything you need to start your business. You get a warmer, bars, products from our kids, clean laundry lines, catalogs, order forms, a consultant guide, and me to help you every step of the way. Smiley face. That's it. That's all I said. And she said, awesome. I can't wait to join. Love to join in a couple weeks as soon as she pays off, whatever. She's going to join. But that's all I said, right? I didn't go into getting paid. I didn't go into like warmer and scent of the month. I didn't go into catalog seasons. I didn't go into staying active. I didn't go into growing a team. And all of these things are about joining Sensi, right? I didn't talk about the website. I didn't talk about Shooting Star. I didn't talk about Radiant Rockstar Community. I didn't talk about any of that. And all those things are part of joining Sensi, right? But all I did was answer her question. It's so important that you only answer their questions. And listen, and this is something that takes practice, right? We talked earlier about the only way to get better is by practicing. When you're passionate and you love something as much as we love Sensi, we want people to join our team so bad, it's so natural to word vomit. It's so natural to keep going and keep talking. But I promise you, when you give clear, concise, short answers, and you only answer their questions, that is how you seal the deal. And Terry said, kiss. That's right. Keep it simple. Silly. Keep it so simple, Sensi. Keep it Sensi simple. Sure. Let's keep it simple. Stupid is like the real thing, but we'll just say keep it Sensi simple. How about that? Right? Like all you have to do is answer their questions. Keep it yeah, that's perfect. Keep it simple, sweetheart. I love it, Ryan. Thank you. That's it. Just answer their questions. Don't go any further. Don't explain, okay? If they have further questions, then you can continue there. Something else I love to do when I'm having conversations about recruiting, I like to ask them questions, right? So if you say to them, what kind of questions do you have? They might be like, I don't know. Is it hard? Who do I have to sell to? I'm worried, blah, blah, blah. Instead, I'll say something like, why do you think you might want to join Sensi? Why do you think this might be a good fit for you? Okay? Almost like they're going on an interview. So then they feel like, oh my gosh, I have to sell you myself. I have to sell you on why I'm a good fit for this company, or I have to tell you why I think I belong here. What happens is when you do that, they flip a switch in their brain because they're now in control. It's not I'm in control and I'm trying to recruit you. They're in control. They're in control of the conversation. They're in control of the emotions. When you say, why do you think this might be a good fit for you? A couple things happen. They're in the driver's seat. Also, it's not a yes or no question. You really want to avoid yes or no questions because people will just say yes or just say no, and then they'll stop engaging in conversation with you. When you ask a question where it has to have like an actual answer, like, why do you think this would be a good fit for you? It's not just like yes or no, right? They have to actually share something about their life or why they're even interested. So I always love to ask them questions when I'm talking to someone about recruiting. Okay. Now let me talk about on the spot recruiting. Do you have any questions about recruiting and relationship or conversations or what to say or what not to say? Or do you feel a little bit better since I covered some of those things? Yay, nay? Some thumbs up? Yep. Some yep. Yep. If you have a question, just type it in the box. And I'm going to talk about on the spot recruiting. On the spot recruiting, it has a place. And I don't want you to be afraid of it. Okay. On the spot recruiting is actually really important in your business. And I'm going to be honest with you, I probably recruit more on the spot people than I do relationship people. And because recruiting and relationship, it does take time, right? You have to take time to get to know someone. They have to be a customer. They have to reorder. They have to do follow-up. They maybe have to host. Maybe they don't host. It takes time in relationship. On the spot recruiting is when, let's say you're at an event and someone's coming up to your table and they're like, do you have skinny dipping? I love skinny dipping. I know it's retired, right? When you find someone who's a Scentsy fan like that, I literally will be like, girl, you love this so much. Why don't you just do this? That's it. Okay. That's it. That right there can be enough for them to be like, and I guarantee you, at least 60% of the time you're going to hear, I've thought about it. You're going to hear that. And when someone tells you, I've thought about it, they literally just handed themselves to you on a silver platter. Okay. When someone tells you, I've thought about it, or I'm thinking about it, or I thought maybe about joining, they're just basically asking you, please help me get started. So if you don't take that person and love on them and recruit them and show them what's in it for them and show them how Scentsy in their best interest and how it can benefit their life, like you're just completely missing the mark. Okay. If someone tells you like, I've thought about it, that's an open door. So if someone says that to me, I've thought about it, I'll say, well, what's holding you back? That's it. That's all you have to say. What's holding you back? Okay. And they're going to say like, oh, I don't have enough time. So when you say what's holding you back, they're going to give you their biggest objection first. People are always going to have objections, right? A lot of people are going to say, I don't have enough time. I'm really busy. How much is the starter kit? They're going to say that. If they say something like that, that means I don't want to spend the money on it, or I don't have the money to spend $99. If someone says they don't have $99 to spend, what's instantly the first thing you should do? Offer them the host exclusive kit, right? Host a party. They can get a kit for $59, or like we talked about, their kit's never going to be more than $39 if they host a party. Okay. If someone says to me, so when you ask them, what's holding you back? Or why haven't you done it? They'd be like, oh, my consultant quit, or my consultant moved out of my area. I don't have time. They will tell you their biggest objection first, so you can tackle it right then and there. Yep, I love that. Lisa said active listening helps. If you don't know what active listening is, that means basically when they're having conversations with whoever they're with, or you're just engaged in conversation with them, you are actively looking and listening for reasons as to how this business could fit their life, how this business could support them, how this business could benefit them, right? Terry said, what do you say if they say they don't have time? Okay. A lot of people are going to say this. I don't have time. That's what a lot of people are going to say. People are going to say because one is it's actually their real objection, or two, they're going to say it because something else is their real objection, but they don't want to say it. So they say, I don't have time. Okay. When someone says I don't have time, I'll be like, girl, you don't need a lot of time. Because that is first of all, I want to squash that right then and there, right? I want to squash that in the beginning. You actually don't need a lot of time, because there's a huge misconception that, and then I'll tell them, I say, you don't have to do events. Like if I'm at an event meeting them, you don't have to do this. You can just sell it on social media if you want to, or you might as well just do it and get a discount, right? I'll kind of give them a way out so they still feel like they're in control and I'm not scaring them away, but it's still enticing enough to where it's like, oh yeah, I could add that into my life, sure. Or this is fun, or you can just do it super part-time. Like basically, honestly, when someone says I don't have time, I just want to squash it right then and there. And I just say, you don't need a lot of time. You don't have to do this. You don't have to do this full-time. It doesn't have to be your full-time job. You don't even have to do it part-time. You can just do it for fun on the side. It can be your fun thing. Like literally something like that. And for a lot of people, they're like, oh, okay, that's enough. Or if someone says I don't have time, I'll look at them and I'll say 95% of the consultants on my team have a full-time job. Okay? Or they have kids, or both. Or they are in school and are working full-time and have kids. Okay? So I'll tell them that. I'll be like, so-and-so, my friend, my sponsor, my upline, whatever. Give them even you. I work a full-time job and I'm just doing this for fun, okay? Give them your own examples. Keela said I'm driving home from work and on this call. I love it. So on the spot recruiting, it definitely has its place, and please do not be afraid of doing it, because in fact, I just had an event a few weeks ago. A lady came up. I recognized her from an event before. She spent $65 in my booth. And I just said to her, I said, why don't you just do this? I said, you're about to drop $65 and it's only $99 to join. It can even be something like that. Okay. If they're about to make a purchase with you that's $60 or more, you say, look, why don't you just get the starter kit for $99? Then you can like make commission on your own purchases. It can even be as simple as that. So on the spot recruiting definitely has its place. I highly recommend that you do it. And again, practice, 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 practice. Always make sure that you're showing them what's in their best interest, how Scentsy can benefit them, how it can bless their life. Think about it from their point of view. It's not about you. It's not about growing your team or earning a trip or like getting promoted. It's about how this can benefit their lives. That's the only way you're going to be a good recruiter, is when you're literally trying to serve them and help them make their life better. Okay. Anna says, I don't have much time with a 3-year-old who sees specialists and doctors 2 to 3 times a month, plus a 2-week-old. Anna, congratulations on your new baby. Oh my gosh. When I had a 2-week-old baby, I was like, I don't want to see anyone, talk to anyone. Don't call me. Don't touch me. Don't look at me. You are amazing. Okay. You are freaking amazing. And she's on this call while feeding her 2-week-old. You are basically a superwoman. Okay. You are a real life superhero and you have a cape. And if I was a sewer, a seamstress, I would make one for you and send it to you. But I'm not a seamstress. I can't even put a button on a shirt. Like my husband has to do that for me. So I could maybe hire someone to make you a cape. I'll think about it. Okay. Happy. You're amazing, Anna. Way to go. I'm sorry. That was a side note, but like, that's freaking awesome. Who has a 2-week-old baby and is working their business? No excuses. I love it. Okay. Look, if Anna can do it, you guys here with the 2-week-old baby, like what's our excuse? Okay. For real. If Anna can do this, we can all do this. Okay. All right. So what kind of questions do you have about planting seeds, transitioning, overcoming objections, relationships, on the spot recruiting? Do you feel like I answered questions that you had, or maybe helped squash some fears that you had? What do you say to someone who has no social media and who says they don't have many friends? Do you want my honest answer? I just go find someone else to recruit. I'm not going to lie to you. If someone's going to say like, I don't have any friends, and they're not willing to make friends or they don't want to, like, that's the only way that you sell Scentsy. Like Scentsy's relationship business. Like, you have to make friends. You know what I mean? And so if someone's like, I don't want to make friends, I'm like, okay, bye. You know, as harsh as that sounds. Now, sensies were introverts. So if someone is like an introvert, that's totally okay. And you can be, but they have to have some way to communicate with people. So it has to be social media or texting, or so they do have to be willing to do it in some way. It is so easy and doable, Bridget. And so I'm glad that you feel that way, because listen, we have these hangups about it, but I promise you, like, they're just things that you create in your mind. Okay? You're psyching yourself out, or you're afraid of what someone's going to say to you or think of you or whatever. I promise you, they're not saying those things, and they're not thinking those things. Those things you think that they're going to think, they're not even going there. Their brains don't go there. Our brains do, but theirs don't. So don't let your brain go there. Don't psych yourself out about it. It really is simple. When you keep it simple and you don't make it complicated, that's when you become a good recruiter, because that's when you're confident enough to have a lot of conversations. That's what happens. You have to be confident enough to have a lot of conversations. So good. Yes, word vomit is definitely a recruiting killer. Okay? It kills recruiting conversations so fast. I promise you. When you overwhelm people with information, or you talk too much, or you give them all this extra stuff, here's what happens. It makes them think, this is not for me because this is too complicated. Your lives are complicated. Okay? That's why one of our core values is simplicity. Because our lives are complicated, our world is complicated. No one wants to add something complicated into their life. When my husband used to work, every day that he went out the door, I'd tell him, make people want your job. Go make them want your job. Because his job was to help people grow into upper management. Okay? That was his job, mentoring, coaching, all of this. Go make them want your job. When you show the world that your job is hard or difficult or time consuming or not fun, do you think they want to join you? If you look tired, if you look stressed out, worn down, not full of joy, do you think they want to join you? Nope. Someone said this to me a long time ago, and it stuck with me, and he said, people always want to do what's fun. Pretty plain and simple. People always want to do what's fun. Introverts want to do what's fun. Extroverts want to do what's fun. Young, old, men, women, everyone wants to do what's fun. Now, fun is subjective. Okay, I'll give you that. But if you're generally happy and having a good time doing your Scentsy business, and then you're sharing that with the world, people are going to want your job. That's how you attract people on social media. You've got to share it. If you're not sharing about how fun this business is, or like what you're doing in your business, or how it's blessing you, or like even what you're doing with your paycheck, make sure you use the income disclosure statement, whatever. But what you're doing with your paycheck, like maybe you're getting your nails done, maybe you're like buffering your savings account, maybe it's making your car payment, maybe it's a date night, like maybe it's buying you a new outfit. I don't know what it is. It's paying all my bills. You know what I mean? It's like we're building a house. Like that's what, right? So if you're not sharing that with people, how are they ever going to know? That you have to share that. There is an amount of like open bookness that has to happen about your Scentsy business. You have to be a little bit of an open book where you kind of publicly share, like, this is what I'm doing today, and like, this is how fun it is, or like, yay, so-and-so got their order, and like, yay, our car smells good now, whatever. They have to see what's going on in your business. That's how you attract people to you. It's fun. Make them want your job. Make them want your job. Make it so irresistible. You're having so much fun. You're getting so much free stuff. You're getting all these discounts. You're seeing all the new stuff before anybody else does, right? Make them want your job. Create FOMO for them. Fear of missing out. Create a FOMO. Talk about the events you're going to, like the incentive trips that you're going to earn, like the Scentsy family reunion that you're going to go to, right? All these different things. Talk about world tour, all this stuff. Ikela said about when we talked about the girl who said like, or someone who said, I don't have any friends and I don't have social media. She said the same thing goes for people that string you along about joining and won't just do it. Just find someone else. Don't keep wasting your time. Absolutely. There are people, like I said, I asked my friend 25 times to join. No, I'm not exaggerating, but I don't like actively pursue her and like, woe is me, blah, blah. Like I just like mention it every time we talk, literally every time we talk. It's okay. But I don't chase them, right? If there's people that I'm like in hot pursuit of, I want them to be people who are interested, people who are going to work. Because if you have to like string them along and pull teeth to get them to join, you're going to do the same thing to get them to work. If they're giving you excuses like, I don't have any friends and I don't have social media and like, I don't want to leave my house. Well, this business is just, you just got to find someone else. Just trust me. Okay. I think this business is for everyone. I really, really do. But when someone makes like that, I mean, I just can't. So maybe I'm just jaded. Okay. Andrea says, I'm a stay-at-home mom who makes more than my working husband, and I'm proud of it. And so she shares that on social media, right? That's attractive, right? People want that kind of job. Yeah, you gotta share it. Okay, I love you guys. I hope this was helpful to you. I hope that you're ready to go like recruit all the people and keep it simple. Good. I'm so glad. Keep it simple, have fun, plant the seeds, water the seeds. Don't be afraid to recruit on the spot and practice. It's the only way you're going to get better. And just have like a lot more conversations. I promise you. Good. You're so welcome, guys. All right. I love you. Happy Tuesday. I'll see you next week. Bye.